Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 6 selections for tomorrow's racing. Now with my first selection tomorrow, we're going to be going to Uttoxeter with an extra tip in the 158 with a horse called Notre Pari. Currently 4 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment. That price was available with SkyBet, who are offering an extra place, and I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection here. Now this horse, Notre Pari, has been a little bit disappointing over the last 12 months or so. He's been campaigned over fences and he just seemed to fall out of love with the game. But I think going back to hurdles tomorrow could be a positive move. He's down to a mark of 124, which I think is a fairly workable mark for him. He's only £2 higher than when he won at Aintree a couple of years ago, and he was even sent off favourite for a Lanzarote at one point. So there's a lot to like about him tomorrow. Kevin Brogan as well claims are free for Ollie Murphy, who's Yard are coming into a little bit of form now. I think he's got really solid claims, and I'll be disappointed if he couldn't go close for us in the 158 Uttoxeter. We then go to our next best of the day, which runs in the 225 at Newbury in the Denman Chase there. I really want to take on Clan de Zobo here, and I think Royal Pagaille is a really solid alternative. He's available at 9 to 4 across the board with most bookmakers. Going to recommend a 1 point win bet here for Charlie Deutsch and Venetia Williams. He arguably put up another career best when he won the Peter Marsh Chase at Haydock last time out. I actually think it was a better renewal this year than it was last year. So I think that will definitely be in his favour. Some people said maybe the ground might be against him, but I don't think it will be. I think he'll be fine on the ground, because when he won at Kempton, when he was smashed up in the betting to win a decent handicap there, it wasn't particularly deep ground. It was kind of good to soft. So I got a feeling that he'll be all right on it. And Clan de Zobo, if it comes into a finish, I think he's a fairly weak finisher that doesn't necessarily find that much under pressure. And I just think that he lost his race last year, Clan de Zobo, and he could arguably lose it again. And Nichol's team aren't in the best of form. I think Venetia's got really solid credentials here with Royal Pagaille. She won it a few years ago with Houblon de Zobo. I think he'll go very close, and I think he's the one you want to be siding with. So he's going to be my selection there. We then go with an extra tip with drums in the 308 at Uttoxeter with a horse called Barrowdale for Donald McCain and Brian Hughes. Currently available at 6 to 4. I'm going to recommend a 1 point win bet here. Now this horse is going to be stepping up in trip tomorrow, which I think he'll really relish. If you look at his pedigree, he's by Cloudins, who's produced quite a few horses that loved stamina trips, including the likes of Vintage Clouds, Many Clouds. So the step up in trips should be no problem at all. He might be able to get an easy lead out in front as well. And if you look at some of his form, he finished second at Banger on D last time out when he just got outpaced. He bumped into a smart horse of Ollie Murphy's on that occasion. Before that, he ran well in the bumper as well. So yeah, I think there's a lot to like about his chances tomorrow. The hood goes on. I think he'll go to the front, and I think he could just be a tough nut to crack. And with Donald McCain, Brian Hughes going along very nicely, I expect him to go fairly close in that race. We then go to the 315 at Warwick, which is going to be my long shot of the day, with a horse called Riders on the Storm for Keelan Woods and Richard Hobson. Now, this horse is currently available at 14 to 1 with William Hill, who are offering 4 places on this race. I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection here. Now, this horse, Riders on the Storm, is a previous Grade 1 winner. He won the Ascot Chase a couple of years ago, but ever since then, he's not maybe quite hit those heights again, but he's now down to a mark of 145, which I think is fairly workable on what he's done in the past. I think you can put a line for his Cheltenham run. He doesn't seem to handle Cheltenham. He's not got a particularly good record there, but I think this track at Warwick could suit him tomorrow. Most of his best form has come on flat tracks. He ran a cracker at Aintree on his stable debut for the Yard. I think in this race tomorrow, it's not the most strongest of contests, and I thought at price of 14 to 1, he had quite a good each way chance, and that's why he's going to be my long shot of the day. My nap then runs in the 335, the Betfair hurdle at Newbury, the feature race on the card there, and I thought JPR1 was the way to play here for Brendan Powell and Colin Tizard. Currently available at the time recording with William Hill at 11 to 2. I'm going to recommend a 1 point win bet here. Now, some people might be concerned about his inexperience, but if you look at this race over the years, it's been won by 5 and 6 year olds. I think you have to go back nearly 20 years for the last 7-year-old. It's a race that tends to favour novice hurdlers, and this horse has entries at Cheltenham in the Ballymore and the Supreme, and he makes his handicap debut off a mark of 130 tomorrow. But I think a lot of his form stacks up. He won nicely at Taunton last time out. He finished second at Cheltenham in a bit of a muddling race, but that form's worked out okay. Social Agenda bolted up last week in the Scottish County Hurdle, and then the time before that on his debut, he beat the likes of I Am Maximus. A couple of other horses have come out and franked that form. It looks fairly good from where I'm standing, and I just think Colin Tizard's horses, they've been running better this year. I think this could potentially be is Cheltenham Gold Cup, and I think he's got solid credentials tomorrow, and I'd be disappointed if he couldn't go close in the Betfair hurdle. We then have one other selection for you, which is an extra tip, which runs in the 8.15 at Wolves. Athmad for Paul Mulrennan and Roof Carr, currently available at 13 to 2. I'm going to recommend a small win bet here at 0.5. Now this horse, Athmad, he's a 4-time course and distance winner. He's now £2 below his last winning mark. He's been running on the poly track of late, but he doesn't seem to be suited by that surface. Dropping back to the Tapeta should be okay tomorrow. He's fairly versatile. I didn't think this was the strongest of races. And for me, I think he's going to outrun his odds there. So he's going to be my last tip of the day. So they're the selections then for tomorrow's racing. Let me know in the comments box what you fancy for tomorrow's racing. Sorry about the sound as well. Hopefully I fixed it now. I've had 1-2 issues with my mic, so apologies for that. Also as well, if you want to follow me on social media, Twitter is the place to do so, where my handle is @LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, my website is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please scam responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners for you tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.